Welcome back to Wikilert.
Today, we're stepping into a profoundly moving chapter in the life of Aubrey Plaza, one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and beloved stars, through her August 2025 appearance on Good Hang with Amy Poehler. This wasn't just another podcast episode. It was a raw, emotional space where Aubrey opened up for the first time about the devastating loss of her husband, Jeff Baena, who died by suicide in January 2025. Picture this: two friends, bonded by years of laughter on parks and recreation, sitting down to navigate grief, love, and resilience in front of the world. It's a conversation that's left fans in tears, sparked countless discussions online, and reminded us of the power of vulnerability. Let's unpack this unforgettable episode, explore Aubrey's journey, and honor the courage it took to share her heart. Aubrey Plaza needs no introduction, but her story sets the stage for why this podcast hit so hard. Born in Delaware in 1984, she carved her path from improv stages at Upright Citizens Brigade to stealing scenes as April Ludgate on Parks and Rec. Her deadpan humor, razor-sharp wit, and ability to make the absurd feel authentic made her a standout. She's tackled everything from indie gems like Safety Not Guaranteed to blockbusters like The White Lotus, earning a Golden Globe nomination in 2023. But her personal life, often kept private, took center stage this year after the tragic loss of Jeff Baena, her husband of 4 years and a collaborator on films like Life After Beth and The Little Hours. Jeff, a writer and director known for I Heart Huckabees, was 47 when he passed, leaving Aubrey to navigate an unimaginable void. For 7 months, she stayed silent, retreating from the public eye, until she chose Amy Poehler's podcast to break that silence, a decision that felt both strategic and deeply personal. The Good Hang with Amy Poehler episode, released on August 19, 2025, came at a pivotal moment. Aubrey was promoting her new film, Honey Don't, a dark comedy directed by Ethan Coen, set to hit theaters that week. But this wasn't just a press stop, it was a chance to address the elephant in the room, her grief, on her own terms. Amy, her former co-star and friend, set the tone with warmth and care, acknowledging the tragedy up front while giving Aubrey space to share. The episode, available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, runs for about an hour, blending heavy moments with the cozy, familiar banter that defines Good Hang. Fans on X praised Amy's approach, with one user noting how she handled the moment with grace, asking Aubrey how she was feeling in a way that felt immediate and grounded. It's emotional to think about. Aubrey, visibly uncomfortable yet trusting her friend, choosing this platform to reclaim her narrative. What makes this episode so powerful is how Aubrey describes her grief. She likens it to a sci-fi horror movie, The Gorge, released earlier in 2025, where two cliffs flank a chasm filled with monstrous creatures. She paints a vivid picture of her pain as an ever-present ocean of awfulness, always there, sometimes tempting her to dive in, sometimes forcing her to pull away. It's a metaphor that's both poetic and gut-wrenching, capturing the relentless nature of loss. She admits it's a daily struggle, but in that same breath, she expresses gratitude for being able to move through the world, for being with Amy in that moment. You can feel the weight of her words, the strength it takes to keep going, to find joy amidst sorrow. Fans on Reddit called this analogy painfully accurate, with one user sharing how it gave them new language to process their own grief. Another post on X described it as a moment that broke their heart but also inspired them, seeing Aubrey's resilience shine through. The conversation isn't all heavy. True to their Parks and Rec roots, Aubrey and Amy slip into lighter moments, reminiscing about their time on set, mutual friends, and even quirky anecdotes from Aubrey's early career, like getting chased out of her NYU dorm by mice. There's a riff about Anya Taylor-Joy's eyes that had listeners chuckling, a classic. Plaza deadpan moved to lighten the mood. These moments are like a warm hug, reminding us why we love Aubrey, not just for her intensity, but for her ability to find humor in the chaos. The episode also touches on her work, with Aubrey sharing her excitement for Honey Don't, and her bond with co-star Margaret Qualley. A post on X from August 14, 2025, quoted Aubrey gushing about Quali, saying she knew they'd click instantly, a testament to her ability to find connection even in tough times. It's these glimpses of her spirit that make the podcast so compelling. She's grieving, yes, but she's also living. The timing of this appearance wasn't random. As Parjiba noted, Aubrey chose a friendly space to address Jeff's death, knowing her promotional tour for Honey Don't would bring questions she wasn't ready to answer elsewhere. Amy's gentle framing allowed Aubrey to share enough to satisfy the public while maintaining her boundaries, a masterclass in controlling her narrative. The internet erupted, with outlets like CNN, NBC, and the Los Angeles Times covering her words, focusing on her giant ocean of awfulness metaphor. Fans on Reddit called it a brilliant move, with one user noting how Aubrey's humor, woven into her grief, felt like a shield and a gift. Another X post from August 20th praised Amy for not pushing too hard, letting Aubrey lead. But not everyone was on board. One user on X felt Amy's approach was awkward, citing moments like pulling up Aubrey's IMDb during the chat as out of touch. Still, the overwhelming sentiment was admiration for Aubrey's courage. This podcast also connects to broader themes of loss and healing. Aubrey's story echoes other public figures we've covered, like Lil Nas X's recent struggles or the raw grief in Conrad and Belly's story from the summer I Turned Pretty. Her metaphor of grief as a monstrous gorge resonates with anyone who's faced loss, offering a universal language for pain. She doesn't shy away from the struggle, admitting it's a daily battle, but her presence, her ability to laugh, to promote her work, to show up, speaks to her quiet strength. The episode's impact went beyond entertainment. It sparked conversations about mental health, with resources like the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline shared across coverage. Aubrey's vulnerability, paired with her choice to keep some things private, reminds us that healing isn't linear, but it's possible. As we reflect on this episode, it's clear why it's touched so many. Aubrey Plaza didn't just share her grief. She gave us permission to feel our own, to laugh through tears, to find light in the darkest moments. Her bond with Amy, their shared history, and her courage to speak on her terms make this podcast a beacon of resilience. It's a reminder that even in Hollywood, where glamour often overshadows pain, there's room for humanity. What did this episode mean to you? Have Aubrey's words helped you navigate your own struggles? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how her story resonates. Thank you for joining me in honoring this powerful moment. If this video moved you, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape us. Until next time, let's keep holding space for healing and hope.